better make sure you know the word for yourself. Somebody say, I gotta act, I gotta act. Amen. I got to be a man or a woman of action. Amen. I got to move as the Spirit of God say move. I chose the 9th chapter of the book of Acts to deal with one person, and that is the man named Saul. It is his name before he became converted. It is his name that represents trouble, that represents a double life, that represents unsurety. That name, you don't hear too many people by the name of Saul. You might hear some Pauls, but you don't hear too many people called Saul, because it brings about negativity. That means that you were against God. That means that you were a troublemaker. That means that you were out to destroy those who were trying to do good. I don't think nobody want to be called Saul today. Amen. In fact, I got some folk, amen, that don't even want to be called Judas. Oh, come on, up in here, up in here. You don't want the names of those individuals that represent negativity. But isn't it something that people can look at you and say, I remember my name before I was saved? If that folk didn't like to see me come when they heard my name called. I got some witnesses up in here. But once you got converted and a change took place on the inside, folk look at you differently. They expected you to come in with a smile on your face and not be the troublemaker that you once were. Y'all don't hear me. I'm looking at Saul because I need to remind us of where we were and where we are. What used to be and what ought to be right now. I wanted to look at Saul and be reminded of the mess that you were in before you came to know the Lord and where God got your position right now. I'm preaching on a sermon next week. Amen. It's titled, I'm in the right place now. Amen. Somebody turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, I'm in the right place.
In the right place.
Yeah, you're in the right place. Saul had to get into the right place. He had to be positioned, amen, by the Lord to be in the right place. And so the Lord uses his journey on the way to Damascus to position Saul to get into the right place. Amen. And the Bible said that he was on his way to make sure that some Christians were killed, but God interrupted his journey. Now I know I got some folk up in here who God interrupted your stuff. Yeah, interrupted some relationships, interrupted some goals that you had, interrupted some destiny that you felt you were going to fulfill. God interrupted your stuff. He got up all in your stuff. And he had to find the right time, because some of us had it in our mind that we were on the right road now. Yeah, we were telling God what to do. Amen. We were fixing it so that it looked right. It felt good. But God messed up your stuff. Y'all don't hear me. I'm glad when I look at Saul that I can see myself in the brother. Yeah, because I remember, somebody say I remember, going to church, singing in the choir. Y'all don't hear me. Clapping my hand, patting my feet. I thought I was on the right road. Amen. I was in the church, but the church wasn't in me. Do I have some songs up in here? Amen. You weren't always converted. You weren't